All right, in this video, I am going to show you how to solve this tape diagram problem. And most importantly, we're going to do it without algebra. So let's get started on this. And so we've got 94 children. They're in a reading club. 1/3 of the boys and 3/7 of the girls prefer fiction. 36 students prefer fiction. So how many girls prefer fiction? All right, so what are we going to do? So I'm noticing that we've got two characters in this story. We've got boys and we've got girls. So I'm going to start with boys and we've got girls. And because it says 1/3 of the boys and 3/7 of the girls, that means I know I'm going to want to represent the boys using, let's make a nice rectangle there. Good. Using 3 of these blocks. So I'm going to take 3 of these blocks and represent the boys. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So there's the boys. And then I need 3/7 of the girls preferring fiction. And again, I'm going to use blocks. They don't have to be the same size blocks because actually, I don't know, let's just make it that big. All right, because it doesn't tell us that the number of boys and the number of girls in this book club are equal. It doesn't say anything. So I'm just going to create 2 tapes representing the boys and the girls. And it says all together, we know that we have 94 students. So all together, these 2 tapes represent 94 students. Now it says 1/3 of the boys and 3/7 of the girls prefer fiction. So what does that mean? That means, let's see. That means 1/3 of the boys and 3/7 of the girls. So these 4 units prefer fiction. And that's 36 students. So we know that altogether this is 36 students. So 1 boy unit plus 3 girl units equals 36 students, which means if I circle another boy unit and another 3 girl units, so all of this equals 36 students. And now I'm left with just these last 2 units, and I don't know their value. So let's find that out. Let's figure that out. Well, I know that 36 plus 36 is 72. And altogether, we're supposed to have 94 students. So let's see. That means 94 take away 72 is equal to 22. So that means these last 2 units have to represent 22. So let's just circle that. So these 2 units right here has to equal 22. So that means we can kind of go back and we can say, well, that means a boy unit plus 1 girl unit equals 22 also. So that means this boy unit and this girl unit has to equal 22, which means these 2 last remaining girl units right here, these 2 have to be 14 total, because that's how we get 36 units altogether. So 22 plus 14 is 36. We know that these 2 units is 22. These 2 units must be 14, and that automatically tells us that this girl unit has to be 7 and this girl unit has to be 7, which means all of the girl units have to be 7. And while we're at it, if we know that these 3 girl units equals 21 total, 36 minus 21 equals 15. That means this boy unit has to equal 15. And this boy unit has to be 15, and that boy unit has to be 15. So we've figured it out that each of the boy units is 15, each of the girl units is 21. And if we want to check, we could say, well, 3 copies of 15 is 45. And we can say that 7 copies of 7 is 49. 7 copies of 7 is 49. And if we add those together, we get 94, which is exactly the total. So we know we're kind of right. Things are feeling good. So let's go back and ask or see what we're supposed to figure out. It says, if 36 students prefer fiction, how many girls prefer fiction? So what we're asking out of this entire picture, we're just asking how many girls prefer fiction, and that's right here. So these 21 girls prefer fiction. Prefer fiction. There's a whole lot of other kinds of questions we could have answered. We could have said, how many boys are there total? We could have said there's 45 boys total. We could say, how many girls total? We could have said 49. We could have said, how many more girls than boys are there? And we know that there's 49 girls and 45 boys, so we could have said there's 4 more girls than boys. There's a lot of questions we could have asked for this question, and that wraps up this really, this way? Yeah, this way. That wraps up this question, this Tape Diagram Tuesday challenge for March 12th. Hey, do me a favor, press the subscribe button, press the like button, and just look out for all of these challenge problems that are going to be posted every week after the challenge problem has been posted on Twitter. All right, so there you go.